Hello my tarot friends, welcome. Today we are looking at the Infinite Door Tarot. This deck was done by Pamela Love and the art was created by Chris Manicki. I'm not sure how to pronounce their surname, but it's written right here. This deck is published by the Union Square and CO. As you can see here on the side, it says Sterling Ethos. So I googled it because I was not sure, and it says that the Sterling Ethos is an imprint of Union Square and CO, a book publisher focused on mind, body, and spirit titles. So this deck was kindly sent to me by Union Square and CO. So thank you so much for sending this deck my way. I have been working with it for a few days since I got it, and it is an incredibly different deck. Very chatty, very calling you out type of deck, I'm gonna say. I really have been enjoying it. It is very different. So the box is like this, and it has like this writing around. If you touch it, you can hear it. It has like a little I don't know if it's resin or if it's in the box. The box is like very nice and is made of like cotton type of material. It feels very earthy. It opens this way, which I really like, and it comes, so inside is like purple, and it comes with a little guidebook that is really great, and these beautiful backs. It has a purple inside as well. Let's put the cards on side for a second to just look at the guidebook. The guidebook comes with no book covers. That's what they called. I've emailed the publisher to ask about this because I'm not sure, but maybe it was done on purpose to feel more raw. I'm not sure. You can see the binding at the back here is glued. So yes, this is the guidebook. The creator at the beginning talks about how she started doing tarot and how it shaped her as a person. It's a really good story. I really suggest you to read it. It talks about what is tarot, how to read tarot. We have a 3-card spread. We have the Infinite Door spread, which is really cool. The door and the key, which I really like. And then we go straight into Major Arcana. She talks about what is Major Arcana. And then here we have a full picture of every card, which is really great. And it's almost the same size as the actual card, which is really cool. I really like that. So we have an explanation of what is happening in the card. We have the upright meaning and reverse meaning, which is really great. With the minors, you get a little bit less. So here you would have the explanation, what is happening in the card still, which I really appreciate. And then you have just keywords here. And then at the back, you have, oh, there we go. There we go. Sterling Ethos and the distinctive Sterling Ethos logo are registered trademarks of Sterling Publishing CO Inc. And Sterling Publishing recently changed to the name of Union Square and CO, if I am not mistaken. So yes, this is the guidebook. It's really sweet. I like it. I really liked reading the introduction about how this tarot came into being. The story felt really raw, actually. So I really enjoyed that. I'm not going to say what the author said. I'm going to let you read it if you get this deck, which I highly suggest because it's an amazing deck. It's very different. We are going to go through the cards together. I'm going to show you all the Major Arcana cards. Then we're going to go, as usual, in the numbers. So aces together, twos together, etc. just to compare them. Now, this whole deck has a very deserty feel. So to me, it takes me instantly to Sidonia, even though I've never been there. But it just connects me to that. I just heard about it. And I followed a few people who talk about it. But that's the feeling I get. It just takes me into Sidonia, which is a very deserty but very magical and very spiritual place, very connected to, I feel, the extraterrestrial activity, but also spiritual stuff. So, but then again, to me, spirituality and extraterrestrial activities go hand in hand, personally. Anyhow, let's go. I'm just going to talk about what stands out for me in each card. So we have a pug for a dog, which I find really sweet. And I find it very interesting that the Fool, it looks like they are in a robe, maybe it's a morning robe, and they have a mask on, which is very interesting, and the rose, which is not white but red. So this to me feels like a Fool that is experienced but has been through so much in life that they realize that life shouldn't be lived so seriously, if that makes sense. Now, one thing that I find interesting, we see mushrooms here, and these are the mushrooms, the exact same mushrooms we're going to see in the Empress card. So to me, perhaps feels like this might be a son from the Empress, and she pushed him out of her empire, and she's like, go live your life in the wilderness. You are being spoiled in my empire. I've been spoiling you too much. I find it cool that we have crystals here, which again, crystals take time to be formed. So this again tells me that he's an experienced fool. Magician. Isn't that interesting? Because we have a candle above and a candle below. So that talks about as above, so below. I love that the hand is it left? Yeah, it's a left hand, which is the one that is receiving, right? So he's receiving things from above and then manifesting them below. I also love that we have the snake with the eyes. So all-seeing snake, the transformation, the transforming from nothingness into somethingness, I would say. I like that it's pink because that reminds me of the creation from a pure sense, like a pure heart. Yeah, it's really cool. It's very effective. This deck is very effective. Like, I just really love it. Okay, so the High Priestess is a tree, and the tree is a pomegranate. And this feels like she is the tree in the Eden, right? It feels like Adam and Eve presenting figures here, and they're both grabbing the knowledge, right? That they're getting from the tree, they're getting a fruit from the tree of knowledge. And usually it's an apple. But I like the more I'm studying the cards, the more I'm believing that perhaps the tree of knowledge was not actually apples, but it was pomegranates. Because in my language, the pomegranate is called granatno jablko, which means granate apple, literally. Anyhow, so she's holding the pomegranate. She has a moon, crescent moon around her neck, which is really cool. I love that she's the tree, so she's that knowledge. And then it's up to you if you're going to get that knowledge or not. You know, you're going to tap into it or not. I love that we have a lot of celestial night sky looking people and faces and stuff, which is really cool. It connects you to the universe, to the vastness of the space, I'm going to say. It feels like downloads to me. It's a very intuitive deck. And I love how we have like the grass that it's like green, but at the back it's yellow, which is really cool. It kind of feels like a veil. I love that we have blue she's wearing, or they are wearing. We can't see the gender, right? So yeah, I love this. The Empress as the mushroom queen. It's very different. I'm gonna say it's very different, and I love it. I love it. I love that we have pink mushrooms and purple mushrooms and yellow mushrooms, and it just feels abundant. And mushrooms are very nourishing, not plant, fungi, like a being, I'm gonna say. If you look at the chair, like there's mushrooms growing out of her chair as well. I love that she's wearing white, so she's very pure. And mushrooms, they have something ancient about them, so I feel like she brings that ancient wisdom with her, with the mushrooms. There's something that regenerates really quickly as well, grows really quickly, so it's growth, comes through it, like abundant, quick growth. The colors to me speak about abundance as well, and there's something very joyous about this Empress, and I love how open it is, the spaceness of it. And let me just show you the Fool, right? Because we saw that mushrooms before. See what I was talking about is the same mushrooms. So it feels like he's been pushed out of the Empress. I love these backs, and they have like a little golden line that goes along this cracks. It feels like the floor, which is made of dried sand, I'm gonna say, cracked open, and what do we see through the cracks is the universe, which is beautiful. So beautiful. I love these backs. The Emperor on his crystal chair is so cool, and I love that he has a golden head of a ram. He's still holding his key of life, right? And yeah, it's just so solid that it's crystallized. His throne is crystallized. And you know what? Let me put the Empress next to him. There, he's looking at her. They're looking at each other, which is really sweet. I like that. And I love how relaxed their feet are. And look, she's barefoot, which is really cool. So she's very connected to nature and the earth, right? They wear the same clothing, like they have white clothing on, which is really cool. And he's like all golden and crystal, and he just feels very rich and pure for some reason. And I love how he's balancing the apple on his foot, right? Knowledge. Thinking about what he's going to do with that apple. Apple has seeds, so how he's going to plant those seeds. Yeah, I like it. This Hierophant is so cool. Look at that. They are pillars there, and they are balanced on people. So we can get a very shadowy aspect of this Hierophant. Really cool. And look at inside of his head is the celestial stars and the universe. So he does offer knowledge, I feel. But what is the price for it? And his keys are just lying there in his lap. Oh my gosh, I love it. And we have the Trinity here as well. I really like this harp. And also the fact that it's purple speaks about two things, right? One, the higher chakra, so the crown chakra is purple, which is connection to higher self, right? To the divine, whatever. But then purple is also color of elites, right? In the past, I'll say past, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, only rich people wore purple color because purple was really hard to get. I love the Lovers. It feels very Adam and Eve for some reason. Again, we have the snake, we have the vines, and we have, again, the celestial. It's like the earthy part of you coming together with the higher self, you know. Oh, it's beautiful. I get so much from these cards, and I love this angel here, the sun. My gosh. It is so powerful, this deck, actually. The transformation, the dedication, the coming together of different parts of yourself, of different parts from the outside and inside. And it's all blessed by this beautiful angel here. The Chariot. Oh my gosh, look at those two tigers. They're so fierce, you know. They're very fierce. And they're pulling in different directions. And they are not bound to the Chariot, which is really cool. But it feels like they're pulling it anyway. And I love how we have the all-seeing eye here. We have lots of eyes in this deck, lots of hands. And hands are connected to our heart space and to creativity and to creation from a heart space. And also air, which we're going to see later on the King and Queen of Swords, I think. And this charioteer has an eye on his heart, which is really cool. And his staff has a hand with a star on top, which again tells me that he's connected to the divine. And there are clouds around. And again, it looks like this chariot is not really moving. And again, he has a mask on. We have lots of masks. I feel like this deck could be a really good deck for shadow work as well. Strength. Oh my gosh, I love it. It feels like she's wearing the same dress as the Empress before. You know, and these pillars here, are they the same or similar to the pillars from the Hierophant card? Let me just check. Maybe they are. Let me see. We don't see the line here. But these pillars, I just noticed, like you have a chess piece here. We have, not circle, what is it called? Oh my god, a sphere. We have a sphere, we have a cup. We have a turned around pyramid, which I heard of, you know, pyramids being on top of the earth. And then on the bottom, apparently, you have like a mirrored image. I've heard of this theory. I'm not sure if it's true or not. Anyway, we have again... we have a line here, which is, you know, strength. And look at that, okay? So we have like the original image, like a woman tending to a lion gently on here on the side. But what catches our attention really is this woman fighting this leopard. I think it's a leopard. Let's read from the book for you to see how the author talks about the cards, okay? A woman grapples with a noble leopard, a pillar, perhaps a literal pillar of strength in the background. Despite the peril of her actions, she is unfazed by the animal's potential for harm. Upright, consider this card a tribute to resilience. Strength has many forms, but here it often goes hand in hand with grace. You need not overcome obstacles through sheer force. Your power can come quietly, gently, and without aggression. It takes a gentle hand to tame a beast. But you should also find inspiration from the boldness and bravery this majestic creature symbolizes. Reversed, chaos begets chaos, and you're letting fear guide you. This card is a reminder that we cannot let self-doubt cloud our judgment. Let the focus and confidence of the beautiful grappler inspire you. She doesn't experience imposter syndrome, and neither should you. It's a really cool book, actually. And I love this image. I love how her hair is on fire. Like there's a lot of smoke. She's fighting this leopard. Look, her feet are bare. So that's why it makes me think that this might be our Empress, you know, who transformed into... Because her head is now fire, right? Before it was mushroom. Yeah, and she's putting her hand into his mouth. Like, I'm getting what I want and need now. The Hermit. Oh my gosh, look at that. His head is inside of this shell. It's such... Oh my god, I love this deck. It is so modern and classy, but the messages come very intuitively. Like there's a lot of water here, and it's like his image in the water as well. It's like melting away. And water is our intuition, is our emotion, and it's a very stable water, but it's also overflowing. Look at the steps here. The steps that are descending, right? And the moon here. This deck is a mood, man. They came into this city that is empty, and still they put a shell on their head to go even deeper. Really cool. I really enjoy this Wheel of Fortune. This hand comes out of the Book of Knowledge, which is really cool. Book of Knowledge, Book of Life, I think. And we have, look at that. The bull has a thing where you spin it and then it moves, which is really interesting. And then the lion or the Leo is the cat. And then the Scorpio, I believe, is the flying fish, which is really interesting. And then our Aquarius is a statue of a person always learning, which is also really cool. And then we have a naked cat on top, and we have the snake. And I think the Doberman, I think it's called Doberman, dog here represents the oh my god, what is that creature, the other creature that is on the Wheel of Fortune? I don't know the name for it, but it kind of looks like it as well, which is really cool. So I really like this Wheel of Fortune. Justice, look at that. She is weighing, and I love, like, look how sword is kind of like melting into the snake. And it has an ear here, listening. And we have a head measured towards the heart, and we have a blooming roses on the heart. How beautiful. And look, the heart is a little bit heavier than the head. I think that's how I see it. I love the green dress, and I love how she's like, I can hear it in my head, this for her head, like she's super connected. Like I feel like she's not judging from herself, but something higher is coming in. What a powerful image. I love it. And we have the snake here. Ooh, and look, there's a chain there as well. So of course the hangman is an uncomfortable situation, but through this uncomfortable situation comes the change, right? And snakes and wisdom, which snakes both symbolize. They symbolize wisdom and transformation. An incredible symbolism comes from this image here. I love it so much. It's so simple looking, but it's actually really deep. And I love that we have the snake that is green as well, because green is connected to heart chakra space. This death is very cool. I love how these people here are all different colors, and we have raining here, and the skeleton is on fire. You know what? Let's read it from the book, because I haven't read it yet, and I'm really curious what it says about the death card. It's really beautiful. Standing amongst a rainbow of fallen bodies, death comes for all, caring not for age, social standing, or spiritual fidelity. Personified by the classic skeleton holding a scythe, he is enrobed in flames instead of shrouds. He stands placid and unaffected in the landscape of his design. What I find interesting is that the creator sees death as he, which is interesting because you technically can imagine anyone here, right? So upright, death is a card of transition and transformation, not of despair. It is a cleansing and a clearing card, reminding us that we need to leave our old self behind to grow. Think of it as a positive schism. You're shedding your old skin and moving on from old hindrances and hostilities. Let go of a sense of limitation and embrace possibility and potential. The upcoming changes may be hard, but rest assured that the reward will be beautiful. And then reverse, you're stuck at the cusp of change and allowing the past to rule your future. All trauma and pain may inform you, but don't allow it to define you. At this moment, you may be your own worst enemy, and avoidance will lead to a life punctuated by regret. It is time to shift and choose joy instead of fear, or you will not experience the growth you need. Now, I need to say something here. This death card and the description really shows what the author was talking about in the introduction, where she talks about how she lost her father when he was really young, and going through grief, and how tarot helped her through grief. This is probably the most beautiful temperance card I've seen. It is so refreshing. The water hands, the glistening water, all the flowing. the balancing of the teacups. So we have different hands and all balancing different number of cups. We see eye and this cup, which is like peeking through here, which is interesting. It feels like a very healing card. I love that we have the lotus flowers. We have eyes inside of the lotus flowers. So like a third eye opens through this transformation, no mud, no lotus, right? Through darkness and through suffering and through pain. You grow as a person, and that's how you see through things, which is beautiful. Does it scream alchemy in this card specifically? Technically, you're alchemizing yourself, your new self, right, through transformation. But it's also a very healing card and also a very balancing card, which is lovely. And I love how happy the colors are. Just beautiful. This devil card is so powerful. This man is going up the stairs. And look at that. Look at the window here with the stars. And his shadow is the devil, right? So the devil is within you, right? It's not something from the outside, but it's within you. And you're the one who need to face it and work through it, etc. The description in the book is really good as well. I love this Star card. Look at this guy. Look at this person falling on their head, like, whoa. And I love how it just destroyed it. And if you look at it, it feels like it's not very solid, you know, like the walls are quite thin, which is really cool. And I love the smoke and it's like, and the clouds around, and there's another hand here. So we do have two people. I really love this tower. There's something joyous about this tower. It's really hard to explain, but it tickles me inside. It's really interesting. This star, oh, I love it. I love that we have two people here. So it's kind of like, is this the same person, right? And is she healing herself? Which is beautiful. I love how we have like the night sky and they are bathing in the night sky. It's just, oh my God, it's so good. Like, the artist did such an incredible job in this deck. Wow, it's incredible. It's like they're bathing in the possibilities, right? She feels like she's dreaming, like everything is effed up. And all she has left is really to look up and to believe that better things are going to come. You know, when you give in, you don't give up, but you give in. And then just let the universe take over. Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh, this moon. Oh my gosh, I love it. Look, they're standing on this long ladders. And like, what is this? You can't really see. And you can't really see these are ladders as well. And we see I love that we have cycles of the moon here. Like coming to a full moon. It's kind of like it led you to here slowly. And I love how this person is like, I feel like embracing. And it kind of feels like a clock as well. With the arms like that, like time. And again, they have a mask on, right? What is under that mask? What is hiding under that mask? This is so great. I think this is one of the pillars from maybe the Hierophant card. It's so cool. This sun card is beautiful. Oh my goodness. I love it. These three women embracing. I think this is the womb with the child inside. It's a really good entry. I'm going to read it to you because I really enjoyed reading. And I was like, oh, wow, it makes all of the sense. So, a trio of women joyfully dance as they hold aloft the golden orb of the sun, which has been transformed into a womb. An infant grows nestled in its warm embrace, the glowing rays nurturing both the child and the communal trio. Upright. An auspicious card, the sun signifies joyful optimism about the path ahead. Celebrate growth and take a moment to appreciate both the abundance that life is capable of providing to you and the warmth and nurturing care you are capable of providing to those around you, so that you are capable of providing. So that's really interesting. Always remember that the sun will shine down on you again, and you are utterly deserving of light in your life. It's a very caring deck, you know? It's a very broad deck. Like, it feels, because it is so abstract, it feels like it's going to be perhaps unreachable. Is that the word? Like, it's going to be hard to access it and its messages, but it's the opposite, because the book provides you with just enough detail for your intuition to start flowing, and also just images like this feels like a charged ball of sun, of energy, of ecstatic electricity. I don't know, it's hard to explain. Reversed, it's time to challenge your perception of your current reality. Perhaps you're blinded by unrealistic positivity and not taking stock of mitigating factors. Perhaps it's the opposite and you're having trouble seeing the sunny side of a tough situation. In any case, it's time to look around and see things clearly. You have a guiding light within you and it will help you find the way. See, it's really lovely written. Love it. There's judgment. I love it. Oh my gosh. So this, I would say, angel is blowing the, looks like a shell, which is really nice. And these people are waking up and they're risen up and are answering the call. And what I find interesting is that all of them are answering the call. I feel like these are our chakras. I don't know why. I know this is the black here, but it just feels like it. It speaks for itself, this card. This world card is so lovely because it's light pink. Again, I talk about chakra colors associations a lot, but the higher heart chakra is pink and the heart chakra is about pure love. And I feel like when you are in the world card, you do feel that, like the pure love, you know, that everything is love and you are everything kind of feeling. But then again, we have a shadowy aspect as well, right? We have this person who is on top of the world, but carrying this heavy weight of others. Perhaps they're trying to help others to reach their dream. And look at that. We have a laurel wreath here, which represents the victory, right? And I love how this, so I would say this is Aquarius is looking at that. And the bull is in the bottom and this kitty is trying to jump on this person's back. And the ego, which is the Scorpio, has a higher point of view of everything. And I love how this person here in the middle, sitting on this cube, which is very stable, I suppose, built on others, has also the two magic wands that we usually see in the world card. It's so abstract and so cool. I really want to read what it says. Actually, you know what? I'm going to read what it says. I know I'm reading a lot, but it's just, these are so great. The major arcana begins with the Fool starting off on his journey, and the female figure of the world symbolizes its completion. The arc of her tail is personified in the totem of her struggles and triumphs. Oh, I see, the struggles and the triumphs. Lovely. Gazing at her from the four corners of the universe are four figures representative of the elements via the fixed signs of the zodiac. The journey's completion is not an end, however. It is merely an expression of a full cycle, as expressed by the circular braided wreath encircling the orb she is reaching towards. Upright, you are the moment of positive transition on the precipice of great growth in some aspect of your life. Your life is about to change because of something you accomplished. Allow yourself a moment of joyful reflection, but remember, you're still evolving. Lovely. There's a void somewhere within you from either, so that's reverse, sorry. There's a void somewhere within you from either lack of closure or lack of action. This emptiness can be relieved only by casting off any lingering sense of paralysis and getting the wheel of your life back in motion. Do not despair. You can do this, but the work needs to be done fully and completely without shortcuts. You have the power. It's time to get moving. All right, so here we have our beautiful aces. I love how there's like this growing wand / tree growing through this hand. And what they're holding in the hand is the necklace with a scarab on it. And I read in the guidebook that it says the scarab represents transformation, abundance, and I believe growth, which is really interesting. And I love how it's coming from the universe like that. I love this. It reminds me a little bit of the magician card, which is really cool because, you know, the magician has a wand, right? And this is a wand, so that's cool. The Ace of Cups is offering you this beautiful cup through the celestial window. Look at that. The curtains are the sky. And it opens and there's the universe behind it. So cool. And I love how we have like a feather above. So that talks about that Holy Spirit, I suppose, that connection to the divine in the Ace of Cups. Again, we see scarabs here. So we're going to see lots of scarabs and snakes. In the swords, we have snakes that transform into swords. It's really, really clever. I really like it because the sword suit is very transformative suit, right? Because it is a challenging suit, but through challenges we grow, our mindset grows and changes. So that's really clever. Love it. And the Ace of Pentacles, how it is placed right at the size of the sun, and it kind of could be seen as the moon, like an eclipse. It is so clever. And look, there's like a snake here coming around this finger as well. And it is the middle finger, which is also very interesting. So you could look into palmistry and what the middle finger represents and the snake around it. So that is so cool. Like, I feel like there's so many nuggets in this deck that you could just go and explore by yourself. So these are aces, so pretty. Twos, love it. We also get this thing where we have a lying face, like a statue type of figure around in the card. So here, this person stands on top of it and is standing on its brain, right? It's thinking about where are they going next. They put one stick down and another stick, and the stick is made of the universe, which is so cool. I mean, I say stick, wand. And we have again scarab here, we have snakes, we have flowers, and the globe is stuck on here, which is really cool. And it looks like a hand, right? So they're thinking, what next? And I love that we have body of water, so it's kind of like use your intuition where you're gonna go next as well. The Two of Cups. I love this because it's like, do you see there's like leaves in her face or their face or mask, whatever. And then on the other side, we have a person that just has branches with no leaves. So it's kind of like that perfect balance coming together. And I love that we have quite a lot of fire in the cups. And it just feels right. I love how we have transformative snakes, right? They're coming together and there's fire behind, which talks of, oh, and it's palm tree. And the palm trees represent something. What do palm trees represent? Oh my God, I need to check. What do they represent? Oh, interesting. Palm trees symbolize victory, triumph, peace, and eternal life in many cultures, while also representing resilience, strength, and prosperity. So it kind of brings that negative quotation to this card, I feel like. When you're so intertwined with that new relationship or new connection, you somehow forget, like things go out of the window, Wow, that's very, very interesting. Like it gives a little bit of a negative side to this card. And the fact that they're hooded, right? They're not completely showing their faces as well because they have masks on. Oh, I love it. Like I said before, this would be a very cool shadow deck. The Two of Swords. Look at the snakes here. Like you can hear them. Oh my God. One snakes are going this way. They want to go this way, and the other snakes are pointing her this way. And they're entangled. Like the two things, like the heart and the mind, are kind of entangled together and pulling in different directions. And I love how there's like divine interference with this hand just coming over her head and be like, stop and think, go within and decide. And I love that we have body of water there as well. These two pentacles. Oh my God, look at that. We have the fire on this pillar and we have a pomegranate on this side. And it feels like they're commanding this ocean. Like Moses who opened the ocean, that's how it feels like. It feels very powerful. And one pentacle is bigger than the other, or perhaps is closer to us than the other, but I think one is bigger than the other. So it's kind of like priorities, and how you're going to balance the priorities to be able to achieve what you want with the most that you want, right? With the most that you can, how you're going to achieve your goal with all the different things you are juggling. Really cool. I love it. Oh my gosh, such a powerful card, this one. This deck really surprised me, like in a really good way. And it's such a chatty reader when you use it. It's so cool, and it really calls you out. I mean, to me, it really calls me out. Like every spread I did, it really called me out on my BS. So that is very cool. Okay. These Three of Wands with a turtle here, or maybe scarab, but it feels like the turtle, right? And how the turtles go and they have to do long journeys to get to where to lay their eggs, and all that comes to mind. And how this hand here is stuck on this one that is rooted in the earth, right? That is so interesting. And we have growth coming around this one. And this one is rooted, and now he's holding, or they're holding the last one. And they're moving through the portal that they have created here. And look at the foot here. Wow. Oh, you know what? Let me read from the guidebook. This is so cool. Oh my God, the threes are really cool. Am I ever going to go through this? Because they're so cool. The wanderer surveys the vast openness of an expansive, arid landscape, seedling of possibilities sprouting from and around his wands. Foresight, confidence, momentum, the path ahead, and reverses obstacles, delays, lackluster effort or ambition, which is cool because delays, right? Because this hand is stuck. It's a really cool deck to look at both sides, the positive and the shadow aspect of the card and the light aspect of the card. Look at this, see the cups, and I was talking about how we see a lot of fire in the cups, which personally I really appreciate, because our emotions drive us, you know, in the world, and the drive is associated with fire, so it's kind of cool. So yes, these three figures are both wearing the same clothes, which means that they're on the same page, I suppose. They are holding the same type of cups, they're celebrating for sure and sharing. A cloaked trio, perhaps the three graces, beauty, delight, and mirth, triumphantly hold their flaming cups afloat, saluting the realization of a shared vision. Oh my god, that's so good. Okay. And then the Three of Swords. Oh my gosh, look at the growth on the heart. And the heart is purple and pink. Again, high heart chakra, and purple is associated with the crown chakra. And how the snake is looking forward towards the future, right? So moving on. How you can grow from this, and we have growth of flowers from this pain here, right? Oh my god, so good. And this Three of Pentacles I find very interesting. I love this because this first of all looks like a ring that you could put on a finger. Perhaps this is the ring from the, was it Ace of Pentacles? And then we have senses here. We have mouth talking, seeing, and then the crying, right? The emotion. So it's kind of like putting all the aspects into whatever you're working on. And this person is sitting, so it's kind of like they're manifesting with their head. Does that make sense? Really cool. And again, we have this head here, which feels like support. You're not alone, right? In the creation, whatever. And it's interesting because we see two pillars here, so it kind of feels again like a portal, right? Because threes create a portal, really. So I want to see what it says in here, because this is such a great deck. Let's say, I'm going to read you. It says, a figure sits in meditation on a modest stool. A trio of sapphires glisten in the jeweled curve of his figural face, suggesting harmony between the senses and emotion. A monolithic stone visage, not sure how to pronounce that, emerging out of the still waters behind suggests he's not alone in his efforts, like I said, yeah. This deck, I feel like, is very cool and is definitely going to replace my Japaritsa Tarot, which I have not been using because I don't know why, I just haven't been called to it, even though I love abstract art so much, but this is just perfect. Maybe that one is a little bit too busy and it's not cohesive enough through the art styles, through the whole deck for me personally. So this is definitely going to replace my Japaritsa Tarot because I was needing the abstract deck that I just didn't have, actually. I mean, I did have that one, but I was just not called to use it for some reason. Anyhow, this is so cool. Look at the wands. Look at the wands. They're made of hands. So we have hands and snakes moving, right? They're walking. They're moving on their fingers. And there's a snake mouth, and there's another snake, and then this hand is holding it, and this hand is going up, and this hand is going up, and this hand is going down. There's a lot happening here. There's a lot of movement happening here. And they're creating this secure space, but it also, to me, nudges to that movement and reaching out of that stable ground, of that stability, of the, I say boundaries, but I want to say something else. Stability, yeah. Anyhow. And I love how this couple here, they have clouds inside of them. There's a huge castle at the back as well, which is cool. And I love the colors in the wands as well. And how shiny they're on top. I feel like they're very celestially connected and grounded here with this red, right? The Four of Cups, it's so flipping funny and cool. So this cactus person is holding a cactus as well. So they're very content with what they have and who they are and what is happening. And then this water, because cacti are like plants that don't need lots of water, right? But this water hand is offering him another cacti. Is he going to take it or not? And it's interesting because we don't see the expression on their face, so we can just imagine if they want it or not, you know? And I love how we are on dunes. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. Interesting. So it says, his cup is full, but a watery hand reaches in, offering an even fuller one if he is willing to leave his position. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I love this Four of Swords. Look at that sword at the back made of stars. There's like 3 swords in the sand. So, and one is the snake. So it's definitely from the 3 of Swords from before, because there were 2 swords normal and one was a snake. So she put all of them in the sand. And now she's becoming transparent. It's like she's so lost in, that detachment that she's becoming transparent. And then there's this sword here. It kind of has a feel of the Four of Cups, which is really interesting. Wow, it's like you deciding to take the time that you need to process things, maybe pull them out and then go for that sword. This Four of Pentacles, it's really cool because the figure feels very statue-like. And I look at these buildings with the hands coming out, and there's hands here reaching for these pentacles. And this one feels like it fell from the universe into his hands. And this one's like, do you see this sand here rising? It feels like they just crushed on the ground and they make this, It's kind of like it was all given to, it feels like it was all given to him. It came to him and now he's grasping for more. These three were given and now he's grasping for more. Really cool. Really, really cool. Or they're thinking how to create even more. Or how to use, the resources as well. There's so much you can get from these cards. I really fucking love them. I know I shouldn't be swearing, but hopefully children are not watching this. And if they are, I apologize. Okay. Wow. This Five of Wands with the snake. So we have a lot of snakes in the wands as well, which is also very transformative. Suit, right? The fire is transformative. Love it. The hand is in the snake, like the snake is eating the hand, and these little snakes on top are coming down as well. So it feels like kind of like struggle of this is one big snake and these are small snakes. This is so cool. I just love it. And what does this tell me? Does it tell me conflict? Does it tell me? It tells me a fight for power. That's what it tells me, this one. And you're kind of caught in the middle and you don't know which way to go, Power struggle. That's what this is telling me. Oh my God, I love this. Oh my gosh, I love this. Look at this cups here. This looks like sand time, right? Again, there's time for everything. There's time to grieve what was lost and what is gone. And then it's also time to move on. And I love how his head is like bright shining. It feels like he's becoming enlightened. Through his pain, he enlightened. He became enlightened. And again, you're not alone in this. You have another head here. And a golden, whatever this is called, with an ear. So listening, listening to what is there. The sound of silence somehow comes through as well. 3 overturned brass cups lay at the feet of a downcast figure. The 2 cups remain upright, their bodies made of crystal and their form more complex. Oh, it's crystal, okay. They will surely reflect the light of possibility our traveler emits once his gaze is focused beyond his loss. Oh my God, that's so good. Look at this pomegranate here. This snake got it, right? But what is the result? It's open, the seeds fell out. So you lost something in this battle of getting what you wanted. You definitely lost something. You gained something, but you definitely lost something as well, which is really cool. This is our Scorpio here, isn't it? This is the same flying fish from the Wheel of Fortune, which is cool because these 2 figures found refuge in this huge church, but there's nothing in there, right? There's no food, there's no help. And they're looking at this 5 Pentacles here as well. Like this person is like, where is the help? And it's kind of like divine help. This angel fish is coming through. The Wheel of Fortune will turn it makes me think of. So that is really cool. And look how huge this space is. So we are at 6s, which I really love. I really love all the cards. I think I was going through the deck and there's not one card I don't like. So that is really cool. Okay, so we are at 6 of Wands. I love this, how these people here are celebrating and they look the same as this person. So to me, it's like, is this aspect of you coming together and celebrating, feeling wholesome, feeling happy, feeling excited for life, excited for what's next, what you have overcome to get here. It's really cool. Love it. I love this. She is definitely sunbathing here with her cacti, right? She's enjoying life. She's in the moment for sure. And here we also have that giving of gifts, which is very or giving from the heart, right? Because we have hands that are connected to heart space, and they're giving from the heart to each other. And this person is giving to this one, right? And I love how we have a scarab here again. This 6 of Swords is amazing. I love how we have this sword stuck here, how we have the sun at the back, and it's kind of like around their head, so it feels like they are illuminated, right? They see it clearly. They're looking at the sun, which is clear. So 6 of Swords for me speaks about that clarity, right? They are on the voyage towards the clarity. The clouds are moving away. It's interesting because they're just in the boat, but there is nothing pushing the boat. There's no paddles or whatever they're called. So I'm kind of like, they're moving this boat with their mind perhaps. And I love how, because like they feel like magician with this, right? Maybe they are the magician moving the boat. And then the 6 of Pentacles, very traditional looking, but I love how this is the golden hand with the snake, and this is like a human hand. So it's kind of like, it's giving, the gift is given to you from the divine. Like I feel like out of nowhere, where you did not expect it. You worked so hard, the life has been hard, and now the divine, like God, has intervened, and you've been giving, something to sustain you, right? Okay, and we are at our 7s. Now I'm just gonna say the 7 of Cups is one of my faves. It's so amazing. I love it. I love it so much. We have different things. So we have money, we have death, transformation, we have fire, right? Our will, our passion. We have the snake here, the wisdom. We have the ghost here that is hooded looking away. We have this person here crying in the water, in their emotions, the depth. And we have this pillar here, which reminds me of spirituality from the Hierophant card. That is so cool. This 7 of Wands, I love the wind, like this posture, the way this person is standing and holding the wand against this is amazing. And I love how he's on the top of the June, and we see the polarity of both sides, which is so cool. You can go so deep with these cards. Oh my God, the 7 of Swords with the snakes like all over. They can't really carry them. The snakes are falling down. It looks like, their head is down, so they are definitely trying to get away with something, right? Or they're trying to be smart about something. Or are they? Again, 7 of Swords is about jumping to conclusions without having enough information, right? Not having enough information and, gathering that information again. It feels like he's gathering the thoughts, the information, and they're like all clustered together, tied up together. You can't really see clearly what's going on. So that's such a cool depiction of 7 of Swords. Oh my God, you can go so deep. I love this 7 of Pentacles. I've heard somebody else say that this reminds them more of the 9 of Pentacles, I suppose because of this juicy fruit, but you need to think about that, right? 7 of Pentacles is often represented as you are already seeing some fruits of your labor, which literally fruits of your labor, right? The grape. You need to grow, you need to tend to them, right? You need to cut them off. So you put some work in. Now you're getting this fruit, but what are you going to do with this fruit next? So that examination of looking at your situation, trying to perhaps tend to it, to change it a little bit, change your plans a little bit to get even more, to be able to get out of it even more, comes into play, because you can make a grape juice, you can dry them out and plant the seeds. You can make wine, which is going to take a bit longer to make than the grape juice, etc. So I love this as a 7 of Pentacles. I think from all the suits in this deck, probably my favorite are Cups. I mean, I love them all, but I think my favorite are actually Cups in this deck because they're so great. I just love them. They're beautiful, and there's something magical about them. This 8 of Wands is very different. That's what I'm going to say. I remember I was looking at it. I was thinking, I don't see any movement. What is going on? Why is there no movement? This feels more like a 7 of Wands. And then I just allowed myself to stop and be like, okay, we have these hands here. And it's, I think, 7 of them. And they're moving, right? They're moving. And it's like, which way are they moving? Like, because they're moving, you kind of need to be quick on your toes to decide what you're going to do with what's happening. So that's what 8 of Wands is also about, is that momentum of things. Lots of things are happening. So you need to step into it and focus on what you want, like focus on the thing that you want and achieve it, right? Because it's possible. It also feels like they took away their mask. They took their mask off. So you can go really deep with this one. One of the keywords is order and alignment, and that comes through this specific card quite well, actually. We have these hands here. They're helping each other, pulling each other. And then we have this snake here going up. It's really cool. It's very interesting. And seeing through these eyes as well here is clear, right? It's a clear sky, which is interesting. This 8 of Cups is so flipping cool. I love it. I love it so much. They left their different cups behind. They walk in the cave. Because to me, 8 of Cups is before the Hermit card, and this feels perfect. I love the water here and the moon. Love it, the crescent moon. And then the 8 of Swords. I love how she has tied hands with her own hair, and yet she's holding the key in her hand as well. But she can't see because she has the blindfold. And I know that one of the things that no, you know what? Let's just look in the guidebook because it was really well written. And I don't want to say something that is not there because it was really cool the way she wrote it down. A woman who is bound and blindfolded is surrounded by swords in all directions save one. The path to freedom from this disentanglement is at her feet, yet she cannot see. So self-imposed limitations, paradoxes, and paralysis. I love that. Paradoxes. It's a paradox, right? This whole card is a paradox. She's bound by her own hair, yet she has key in her hand. And also she's blindfolded, so she can't see what she's doing. So that's really flipping cool. I love it. And then we see the 8 of Pentacles here with the man blowing the bubbles. I find that really cool, actually. Because these bubbles, some pop and some fly. So whatever you're doing, you know, some things are going to stick and some things are not going to work. But the thing is, you keep on going, you keep on working. And also, it's very joyful doing that, right? It's kind of like being in the flow. For me, is the 8 of Pentacles, and the blowing the bubbles puts you in that present moment where you're in the flow, you know? Does that make sense? It's a wonderful card. I really like it. There's a printing mistake here. I'm not sure if that's on all the decks, but it is on mine, and I don't mind it on this card for some reason. Okay, we have our 9s. I love the 9s as well. This 9 of Wands is so cool. They feel determined, like they've been through all this, and now they're waiting for the right moment to continue their journey. And on that wand at the back there, there's a hand holding a heart. Wow, I feel like they're holding their heart in their hand, offering it. I feel like authenticity comes through. They've been through so much that they're authentic self, and now they're ready to step into the next chapter, kind of, you know, with the 10. And there's a hand here pointing up as well. Really cool. This person is enjoying their wine. And look, they have so much. They drank one. They have full cup here. They have more there that they've enjoyed. I love all the colors. I love how their seat is turned sideways. And how this like river of possibilities here is flowing. Like it's a very abundant looking card. It's so abundant that they look like the queen, if that makes sense, or the king. And yeah, it's really interesting. And it talks about like, yeah, your cups are full, I suppose, but you're alone here, you know? So you should go and share that, the full cups. And then the 9 of Swords. This is probably one of my favorite 9 of Swords ever. It's so amazing. This building here reminds me of the Hermit card. And the Hermit is also number 9. So that is pretty cool. I love how we have the chess board type of floor, which reminds me of the blanket on the original Rider-Waite-Smith. I love how this person is covering themselves. And if you look closely, really closely, you see skulls within his clothes. Like, look at this. This looks like a skull of a bear here. And this skull here looks like a skull of a bird, like a raven or crow. And there's another skull here. Or is it just me seeing this, which is really flipping cool. And I love how these swords are not real, right? They're just dreams, they're just nightmares, they're just things that are hanging above your head, things that come haunt you in the night when everything is still and quiet. But if you just look up, you could use these swords for something better. And the celestial sky, and there's celestial sky within the tiles as well, which is really cool. This 9 of Pentacles is amazing. And we have a flying fish again. Is that a Scorpio coming here saying hello? May I enjoy your bounty? And they embrace them. They let them in. And because they look, their head is a cloud. That tells me that their head can be in the clouds. They can be dreaming and enjoying themselves and getting lost in their thoughts because they are in the space, physically, right? Health-wise, abundance-wise, resources-wise, where they can do that. Like, I feel like they've been spending the whole day here in leisure, just enjoying themselves because this is evening now. And this could be a flying carpet too, actually, which is really cool. Yeah, I love it. It's the feels that come from the cards that embody the meanings of the cards so well to me. Love this 10 of Wands. They have 1 wand at the back and they have 9 here, and they're not balancing them pretty well. They're not balancing them very well. So it's asking you, how much do you need to carry? You know, you have 1 at the back already, but how much do you really need to carry? And maybe you should put some down. This 10 of Cups is the feels. I love that there's no rainbow, yet it has the rainbow feel to the card. Like that fulfillment and afterglow and just happiness. And again, these two remind me of the 4 of Wands people where we had them. They feel like the same people. How cool is that? Definitely a celebratory feeling. And then we have the 10 of Swords, which is amazing. Oh, I love it. If you look closely, all these swords stuck in their body. And then the main one here is a person holding a star. So that tells me that kind of like things like you knew them in your head with your thoughts are done. So the way of thinking, the way you perceive things perhaps are completely changed. But with that comes new hope, you know. There's not everything is lost. With that comes new opportunities. Yeah, and I love how this snake here is biting their hand. Really cool. Their body is celestial as well. Love it. Oh yes, I said I don't have any cards that I don't like. Now this is the only card that I don't like when it comes to art, I would say, because I'm not too keen on huge big eyes. There's like one deck that I had to let go of because that's what was at the back. It was like an eye where you could see an eyeball properly. I don't know, it freaks me out. But at the same time, it conveys the message really well because it feels like this is an oyster. And within an oyster, I know it's not really an oyster, is it? But I'm going to see it as an oyster. And within an oyster, we have an all-seeing eye. So it's kind of like that knowledge, the seeing it all and now passing it on comes through. You know, it's very cool. And I love how these two look like suns that are coming down into the water as well. Let me see what it says actually in the guidebook. I don't think I've read it. An eye in a seashell peers out from the horizon, the pentacle of its vision mirroring the series of setting suns that surround it. It is suns, I knew it. Tradition, stability, ancestral ties, familial harmony, security. Familiar strife, financial instability, intergenerational trauma, breaking from traditions. Yeah, it is very different, I'm going to say. I mean, I love that we have the Tree of Life here, which is cool. But I do like that the middle one, the middle pentacle, which is in the Tree of Life, which represents number 6, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so what I do love, I'm actually going to say this, is that this eye is in the 6th Sephiroth. And the 6th Sephiroth represents beauty and harmony, which is amazing, let's be honest. So that's pretty cool. Maybe I should take away that. Like, it's still the eye itself bothers me because it is just, it's a bit there. But the meaning behind it is amazing. So, okay, and we get to pages. Oh, I love these pages. Again, we have this eye here, which we'll see on another court card. But then again, you know, this eye and this eye here are connected, right? So that's pretty cool, actually. I love that we have this beetle here from Egypt for their face. It's really cool. I love how they're rooted, right? Because pages are connected to Earth, so that's pretty cool. They're rooted in what they want to do, right? They're rooted, and now they're going to take off on their journey of exploration, perhaps, of their spirit. Page of Cups, having an octopus on is really cool because, and the flying, and the fish here looking out, and it's being blue, that's really cool as well because I feel Page of Cups is someone who is very intuitive and also very creative, right? The way of thinking. and blue is connected to throat chakra. So to me, it's like expressing that, the ideas, the inspirations, the creativity. The octopus is very cool because the octopi are very clever as well, and they're very creative as well, the way they use tools and everything. So that's pretty amazing. This page here of swords turning into stone and having snakes out of their head, looking like a Medusa. And then we have knowledge here, and the fish, I think, represents possibility, stuck on their sword. Is pretty cool, and it's very open and, open, vast, like the page of swords should be. And we have this snail here with the hand moving, which is really interesting. It's very interesting. It's perhaps they ask you to maybe slow down and think through things. Let me see what it says for the page of swords. The serpentine page appears as a stone statue, but his cloak is in motion, as if he has been suspended for a mere moment. His raised sword pierced a fish and a pomegranate, symbolic of possibility and intuition. Possibility and intuition. Upright exploration, receptiveness, innovation, curiosity, forward thinking. I like that, forward thinking. And reversed stagnation. Oh, perhaps this represents the reverse card, stagnation, because it's moving backwards. Lack of focus, chaotic energy, regression. Cool. And Page of Pentacles, we see this, the pentacle here looks very similar, not exactly the same, but very similar to the ace, which I really, really like that we have the ace connected to the pages. We have the pillar there again, pillar. And Page of Pentacles is very stable, so that is cool. That's like we have the grenade here as well, block, which is very heavy and stable. And we have hands looking out, so it's kind of like all the possibilities. He's like looking at it, being inspired by the pentacle, gazing at it, and thinking about what he's going to do with it. How can he tend to it, etc., which is really cool. Very stable energy in this one as well. One thing I love about all the knights here is that we have like a fiery aspect to all of them. So they have like either orange mane or he's wearing orange clothing. Look at that. Their mane is literally on fire. And this one's mane is still orange, but very calm. Like it's not on this side. It's barely visible that there's orange on there, if that makes sense, like fiery aspect. And I love how these two have like celestial shadows, which is really interesting. And the Knight of Cups has water at the back. And I love, again, octopi, right? Knight of Cups is a very smooth person who's going to know exactly what to say to you, right? And the octopi are very smart, so that's really cool. And look at the ears here. He's listening and he's seeing you and smelling. So like I feel like he's using his senses, I love it. I love it so much. We don't have lots of movement in the horses, but there are other aspects of it, right? So the Knight of Wands, we see... Well, actually, I'm going to read you because this skull here represents something, which is really cool. But the Knight of Wands, even though it's not in motion, I feel like because of the way where they're looking into the future, it feels like they're in motion, if that makes sense. A stoic figure, the Knight's staff takes root in all directions. And that as well, root in all directions, right? So there's a lot of direction still. Grounding him when he might otherwise charge forward unimpeded. A cow skull adorned with a ribbon in the foreground hints at the balance between measure and impulse. So it kind of shows you how you should act as a Knight of Wands, So it's perhaps this is not the best beginner's deck, but if you are experienced reader, it's really cool because it shows you perhaps how you should approach things instead of how usually the Knight of Wands approaches things. Knight of Cups here I talked about. Knight of Swords. I love how his head or their head is a cloud. So it's kind of like and it's moving forward. So even though the horse is stoic, which again could be like calm down. Like I know you have a burning desire and things inside you to move forward quick and not think things through. Perhaps you should, right? Look, the cloud, his mind is clouded with whatever, the sword here as well. It's like his cloud is going over the sword, over the sermon perhaps. And here we have the Knight of Pentacles. I love that it's green horse. Also, this is blue horse, and blue is connected to communication, right? Center, which is the throat chakra, which is also really cool. And here the green knight, which again, green is associated with nature, of course. which the Knight of Pentacles is associated with, but also with the heart space, which is like creating with heart. And look, their head is also a cloud, but their cloud is going backwards, so they're taking their time, right? They're not rushing. It feels like a cloud that it's moving very slowly, and this cloud is moving really quick. So we do have things within cards are associated with the meaning of the cards, but it's not as obvious, if that makes sense. So this horse, also, if you look at their facial expression, the facial expressions of the horses, here we can't even see it, you know, because of the wands. And he is like very, it feels like, oh, I just want to go. And he's like holding him back. Well, this one, look at the, what are these called? I don't know, the thing when you hold a horse. They're relaxed, right? Because he doesn't have to hold the horse back, because the horse is just thinking, contemplating, standing in the sun, relaxing. It's a very relaxed horse. I know a little bit more about horses because I used to ride horses when I was a teenager. It was one of the most fulfilling experiences in my life, riding horses and connecting with the horses and working with horses and stuff. Okay, oh, let's go. I'm going to put queens and kings together because I usually do that. All right, and here are our kings and queens, or queens and kings. Interesting, with the Queen of Wands and King of Wands, we have the scarabs coming on, both of them, you know, and they turn from black to green, which is very interesting. So transformation, right, comes to mind, and the fire is all about transformation. And I love how here the scarab is more smooth and gentle, and here is more defined and hard looking, you know? And look at their wands, they're a bit different. His is touching the ground, and hers is hidden at the back. It's kind of like her magic comes from within, and he's sourcing the magic from around himself. And the colors of their clothing, I love how their thrones look very similar, but his is on a platform and hers is on the floor in the desert. Do I wish there was a cat here? Yes, I do. I wish there was a cat here. But then we have these black scarabs here, which kind of reminds me of that magic that the black cat brings. The King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. See, the King of Cups has the same face as the page. So I'm thinking perhaps this is the page when he masters his emotions, right? Look at how many cups are stacked here, which reminds us to the Temperance card, which is about balance, right? And that is really cool because his emotions are very balanced, and he's in charge of them. And I love how the rainbow is coming from his throne here. It's kind of like his throne is melting. He's part of the ocean, you know? His throne, his stability is part of the moving waters and emotions, which is really cool. And he's holding like his cup here with the wine, I suppose. Or a drink, beverage. The Queen, I love her. I love her because her energy is more, to me personally, more reminds me of the Scorpio card than the Cancer card. He feels more like a Cancer because his eyes gazing you and he's listening to you, he's looking at you. And she is like, her hand is here, which again, hand reminds me a little bit of the sword suit more. I love her crown being a shell as well, but it's not overtaking her, right? Her face is out. And I want to read what it says for the Queen of Cups, actually. The Queen sits on her throne on a floating raft of marble, vessels adorned with ear bob in the water, hinting at her deep attention and intention. Her crown is a glorious shell. A golden hand reaches from it, as if she is directing it with her gaze. Intuition, compassion, healing, and faith. And with the King of Cups, the words are enlightenment, creativity, adaptability, and diplomacy. I love that the diplomacy is there because I connect the kings to air. Okay, so that's really cool that we have the diplomacy there. Okay, the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords. I love how colorful these two cards are with the thrones. And when we look at the thrones, the cups and the swords are the most colorful ones, which is really interesting, very creative. And then the wands and the pentacles are more stoic. And the pentacles, look, are made of wood. That's really cool. And these are made of stone. I mean, these are made of marble, I think. The Queen of Swords is amazing. I love her all-seeing eye. I love the tears. So that tells me that she's been through a lot of things. But because she's been through a lot of things and cried and, you know, just processed so much, she's now all-seeing. And I love that she has the eyes green as well. I love how she has pomegranate here again. knowledge, right? Wisdom, but also pomegranate is also not being afraid to go into the depths of darkness, right? The Persephone symbolism here, which is really flipping cool. I love it. And I love that she's looking this way. And see, I was talking about the hands, right? I was talking about the hands at the beginning, coming from their heads, and connection to the air suit, right? To the heart chakra, which is connected to the air. And the King of Swords is looking to his queen, which is lovely. And I feel like he's closer and she's more distant, right? Which is something that the Queen of Swords I would imagine as. She's a bit more far away. And here the king is a bit more far away. Whereas these two are, I feel like king is closer than she is. Really interesting. Another thing, right, that you could think about. And he's sitting really high up there as well. I mean, she's sitting quite high as well, but he's sitting higher, which is really cool because they are in the traditional deck. They're high up there. One is they're somewhere up in the clouds. And then the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles look so similar, yet different. I love how she reminds me of the Mother Mary a little bit. I love how her face is looking through these grapes. So grapes represent abundance, right? Riches. And he is completely like under the grapes. And he's like they're both holding their pentacle like it's something glorious, you know, something to cherish. And they're definitely in the same environment, which is really cool with the mountains in the back. So yes, oh my gosh, we came to the end of this walkthrough. I'm just going to show you how the cards shuffle. I really like the feeling of these cards. You can actually hear it already. Love, 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 love the feeling of these cards. As you can see here, the cards are not cut completely evenly. Now, I'm not sure if I will send the prototype copy, maybe, I'm not sure. But in any case, they overhand shuffle beautifully. I love the heaviness of this deck. The deck is a little bit bigger than the traditional tarot card. I have lights here at hand, so I'm just going to show you the comparison, how big the cards are. So we can see here the cards are wider, but they're not much taller, which is cool. So that makes it quite easy to shuffle still, even though they're bigger than a normal card. When I say normal, I mean standard size tarot card. Okay, so overhand, really lovely. I love the swooshiness they make. The sound that they make is lovely. And let me show you the river shuffling. So the river shuffle beautifully, even though the cutting is not completely, what's the word, even on top, they still river shuffle really nicely. Now another way I like shuffling these cards is this way. So this way you can do it really nicely as well if you struggle with river shuffling. So let me just pull one card for you in this moment in time. What message does the universe want you to know right now? Two of Swords. So perhaps you're going through something where you have to decide in which way you're going to go, and you can't decide, and you feel like you've been pulled in different directions, and the universe tells you that you need to go deep within and listen to your heart and your intuition, your gut. Where do you want to go? You know, she has a white dress on as well, which talks about purity. She is sitting on a pink chair, which again, higher heart chakra. So where's the purity of your heart leading you? Go for that. So that is your message for today. Now, I hope that you enjoyed this long review. I really love this deck. I cannot wait to use it more. And yeah, let me know in the comments below if you do have this deck. What do you feel about this deck? Do you use it a lot? How does it speak to you? Which cards are your favorite cards? I hope that you have a wonderful time wherever you are on this beautiful planet. And I will see you again soon. Bye bye.